So, for those of you who follow me, you may know I recently talked about the whole support strike that's been going on in Rivals recently, right? So, my friend here, Supa Sol, wanted to share his thoughts on that same topic. And of course, I need content, so why not? So, anything in particular you want to say?
All right. So, hi. I'm Supa Sol. He's already introduced me once. Um, I am on Marvel Rivals. At least I'm a very big DPS player. I do play any role that's needed for the team, but from what the clan knows me, I am a Spider-Man player. So, even though I play DPS, I understand what's going on here with the whole support strike shit. Um, I wanted to share a few things, mostly about the support strikes and how I feel like supports are kind of just like they feel not oppressed, but I've made they make them feel like, especially a lot of DPS players, especially those toxic ones, right? They just like they constantly say they need heals, but they're like over in Antarctica. Doesn't make sense, right? But um, I feel like with healers, they get very underappreciated. Because for me, I started with DPS. I think a lot of people when they start playing Marvel Rivals, they either started with DPS or probably some started with tank. Not a lot of people immediately wanted to play healer, but then a lot of people start realizing how important it was because if you don't have at least one or two healers on a team, you're not really going to survive long. That's the fucking truth. That is the blatant truth about healers. They are important, but people, at least recently, with the whole ranked system, which by the way, the whole ranked system was shit before. I think it's starting to get a lot more worse now. With the whole performance based thing. Now, originally when I saw the whole performance based thing, I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great idea because per performance, everyone can get a better rank, at least at the rank they deserve. You know what I mean? Like, say if you're a DPS that goes like maybe 20 or 3, or a healer that goes maybe 15 and 5, depending on your performance, that should have worked right? I've noticed when I was playing ranked with Green
You
Bay and a few
saw
others, I was
ultimate.
playing Spider-Man and I got 54 rank points because I think I went like what 25 and 3 or 24. I don't know how I was going, but I was going really high in KD. And then you compare that to our other friend, Supa 9, aka Carlton. He I think he only got maybe because he mostly played healer, he only got maybe like 15, 16 points, which to me, I think is kind of unjust because with healers, I'll be honest, we only had one healer majority of the time of our matches, and that was him, and he was popping off. He was doing amazing. And I feel like performance wise, he should have gotten a decent amount of points too. I'm not saying maybe like as much as people that have high kills, but it should be like preferenced for his performance because he's doing really great. He's like 15k heals, maybe 20k heals at the end of every match, and he's doing really good. But the performance based thing is not showing it correctly. So when I heard through Green Bay's video that Marvel Rebels kind of brought up that they're going to help healers out, they're going to buff some healers, and hopefully make some changes to the rank system. I'm glad that they're actually doing that because I feel like healers, with the whole support strike thing, it doesn't make it any better to not play healer in ranked or even in quick play. I remember recently after the whole support strike drama started happening, I barely started getting any supports in my games. Right, sure, I want to play DPS, I want to play Vanguard, but if there's no healers, I'll play healer. That's very fucking obvious. And I think obviously the source of all of it is Necros, right? Or other content creators in general, but the way it started was because of Necros. And I'm not trying to be rude to him. I'm not trying to throw any shade. I mean, this is going to be kind of shade. But I used to look up to him a lot because I
Yeah.
liked playing Spider-Man a lot. I mean, that's how I got. I think that's how a lot of people got the Spider-Man guys because he was the Spider-Man man. You know what I'm saying? He was the motherfucker that you would look up a guide and you would probably learn how to understand Spider-Man because we all know Spider-Man's a complex character.
Yeah.
So with him having guides, it was really thankful, really nice, and he had no past drama about the whole support thing. I think it started in season 1 where he kind of said healers have it slightly easier, which to me is kind of bullshit. I think healers have it rough because depending on what kind of teammates you have, it's not going to be easy.
Oh yeah.
And then he said recently about how it's the worst role, or I think it's not worst role, but a useless role, right?
The
And
worst players play support
yeah, the
useless.
worst players, yeah. And I feel like that's bullshit because if we go look in the past of our like some of the best healers out there, there's someone that plays Luna that's in top 500 that is probably one of the best Luna players ever to exist, and they are goated. They have done solo heals, they have done normal heals with like another teammate, and they're really good.
Mm.
Let's also mention an Warlock player, Kernova. I think a lot of people know Kernova. He's
Yeah.
probably one of the best Ana Warlock players anyone's ever seen, and he is a very good healer. Because with Ana Warlock in general, he is a burst healer. He's not a overtime healer with him shooting projectiles or anything like that. He is a burst healer. So using those heals wisely and at the right times will make him, shine, especially with his damage output being adjusted after the last few seasons.
Yeah.
So hearing a DPS player who plays nothing but Spider-Man, no offense, I know he plays other characters like Black
Iron
Panther
Fist.
and a few other characters, Iron Fist. Like he plays other DPS characters, but I feel like in my opinion, if you mainly play DPS and you start talking shit about a role you barely have any time in, I feel like that's not right.
Yeah, it's not.
Sure, like sure, you've been to tournaments and you have probably gone close to or maybe even won tournaments with your characters, right?
Mm.
But that shouldn't give you the right to full on just talk shit about a role that you don't play. If you play a role, like if you decide to play that role, Necro, say if you decide to actually play support, right, and then you can understand, see what like other people are going through, maybe you can finally kind of get an understanding of it. But I'm not saying it to disrespect him by any means. I'm not saying it to throw shade at him, even though this is kind of shade, but it's not major shade. I just
It either is
want someone to
alright.
understand that being a support is not an easy thing.
It,
People always make it seem like it is, but it isn't. I remember when I was playing Mantis. I love Mantis, by the way. She's one of my favorite healers to play when I have to play healer.
mm.
But her kit back in the first two, like season 1 and season 1.5, her kit was okay, but compared to other healers, it wasn't the brightest. But it kind of shows that if you are solo healing with that kind of character or other characters that don't do a lot of good heals, like maybe Cloak and Dagger, Luna, and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of hard, right?
Mm.
Like playing a healer is hard.
Yeah.
People need to understand that it's not just sunshine and rainbows. You're not gonna go to fucking Candyland, the board game, and
Hmm.
you're not gonna have an easy time. It's not gonna happen. Do a lot of people think they wish that could happen? Yes, because it can happen if you had the right teammates. If you have the right teammates, I feel like it can be pretty damn easy to play healer, especially against when you have the right communications, where the teammates are going to go. That's why I feel like when you play ranked B with people solo healing is not solo healing. What is it solo healing? But solo queuing is not a good thing in ranked, especially
Mm.
now with the whole system. Especially with people trying to prove themselves that they are a better player. Oh gosh, especially when the whole fucking thing of the performance thing, which I'm glad
Yeah.
that like Rivals, like the devs at Rivals, they know how to listen, and it's a good thing. It's honestly probably one of the greatest things ever because they listen to the community, but sometimes listening to the community was kind of wrong. Like let's take for instance, right? That when I think it was like season 1.5 where they announced there was going to be a rank reset, but then there wasn't a rank reset because people didn't like that, and then it's like, you know what? Fine, we won't put a rank reset in. That was a
Yeah.
good thing to listen to the community, but in the end, that was not a good thing to listen to because people were complaining about more of the ranked and how it was unfair and how you're going these against some of these kind of players and all this other shit. And it's like there are some times, right, where you shouldn't listen to your community because sometimes the community can bring down the game.
Yeah.
And overall, I think if Rivals continues to make the right decisions, they can last for a very long time. I'm saying maybe a few years, right?
Mm.
But they need to make the right changes, and they suddenly just cannot just always listen to the community no matter what. Because like if they just full on listen to them and not like second guess them or anything like that, then that's how it's gonna bring them the game. Because sometimes all the community will make a lot of bad decisions, and then it will affect the game and make it worse for them, and not only just for them, but for the devs.
Yeah.
And overall, my whole basis on the support strike thing is if you're in a match, right, and you have no one playing support, I'm gonna just put it out there. Do your fucking team a favor. If you don't know how to play healer, that's fine, right? And say if you decide to play healer, and then it doesn't go well, and your teammates start shit talking you, don't let that demotivate you. Sometimes a lot of the DPS players, or hell, even some of the tank players, don't know what the hell they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Don't always listen to that shit. Like you're gonna need to at least like this is my kind of story of it. And if you're gonna play this game competitively or not, you need to at least know two characters from each group. That is at least my type of kind of perspective on it. And I feel like a lot of people can agree with me on that.
Yeah, a
Like
lot of people do have that
learn
same viewpoint.
yeah, like
Yeah.
learn two DPSs, learn two tanks, learn two healers, like and get comfortable with them. And sure, maybe your two choices will get picked. Who knows? But if it does, that means that you're more incentivized to learn other characters. And then over time, you'll probably learn more than two characters, maybe like 4 or 5 for each category. That's what I recommend doing. Like, if you get too comfortable with two characters from each class, then I recommend going further because the more characters you know how to play, the more versatile you can be for not just for yourself, but for the team. And sure, do I want to play Spider-Man every single fucking day? Sometimes, because the euphoria of hitting some really cool clips of Spider-Man is amazing. But I'm not doing it for the clips. I'm usually there to practice characters, learn how to play them, and then when I'm done learning with them, try to take them out for a test ride, see how I am with them, and try to get better with them if I want to, you know, if I want to keep up with other people. Because like I said, there's like I want to play on a Warlock a lot, right? I still
Mm.
am trying to learn him, but then you got like people say, "Oh, I'm never gonna be as like Kernova, or I'm not gonna be a Necros." It does not matter because obviously you're never gonna be them, but you can at least work towards that. So, in my opinion, learn other characters, learn each class, and understand what people are saying.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like make people say, "Oh, this is making people feel oppressed." Brother, you know who feels oppressed? A lot of people, healers say, "Oh, we're oppressed." I wouldn't
Yeah.
say healer is being oppressed. I would say they're getting insulted and they're not getting treated with the same amount of respect as a DPS or a Vanguard.
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
I wouldn't say, "Oh, we're going to a next oppression with being a support player." No, you're being disrespected and you're being harassed, especially if you're a healer like main. Like, there's not a lot of healer mains out there because a lot of people don't, show respect to their healers. Which every time I play a game and one of my healers is doing amazing, I always try to give them the time of day. Where it's like, "Hey man, thank you for the heals. You were amazing." But if I know blatantly the problem, reasonable time to go off.
Yeah.
Like you have full right if your healer says I'm not the problem and they have 2k heals at the end of the match. That that is when you can full on snap. Especially if it's a DPS that's saying, "Oh, I'm not the problem." They're going fucking maybe 10 or 30. I've seen that shit before. It's not a good sight, especially if it's a Spider-Man player that doesn't want to switch. I
Yeah.
swear to you, you are not Peter Parker. Take off the suit, go play fucking Punisher or some shit. You can do it. I believe in you. He's easier to character to play. But going back onto the topic, um, I want to just kind of wrap this up a little bit to kind of
Mm.
like get my closing words on it to say like, if you're a DPS player and you start getting pissed off at your teammate, like your healer, right? And like everyone else is saying they're doing well and they actually are doing well, don't blame them. The only one you gotta blame there is yourself. If they
Yeah.
are a full on great healer, amazing healer, by the way, like say they have 20k heals at the end of the match and they have Dome on Duts, because like it's a good healer when they have not a lot of deaths, a lot of healing, and they're usually in the team battles a lot to help their teammates.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you really want as a healer, especially a DPS. DPS is also, you need to be there often. You can't just die often and have like say you have like 10 or 15 deaths but you have 20 kills. You can't say you're doing a lot. Because if you're saying you're doing a lot, that's not proving jack shit. Because a Vanguard, their goal is also not to like to die a lot. If they die a lot, they're
Then they're
not
going
helping
back.
their healers or their team.
Yeah.
Because the Vanguard job is to stay there, absorb damage, try to help the team. Unless you're
Mm.
playing like a dive tank, that could be somewhat of a way to excuse shit, but like in my opinion, that's not a full-on excuse. It's not a full-on excuse. It's not a full-on just like, oh, if I'm playing Captain America or fucking Venom, I have an excuse for not being there for my team. No, in the end, you're still a fucking tank. Like,
Yeah, you're still a fucking tank.
you're still a tank. You go up there, you take damage, help your fucking supports out. There's also a thing called peeling back.
Yeah.
I hope a lot of DPSs and tanks know that, because I'm assuming a lot of people don't know what that is, because I know a lot of people in the community of Marvel Rivals, they're new to those type of games. They are. And because, like, Marvel Rivals got popular, and also it's a Marvel game. In the end of the day, people are gonna play because it's Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
The IP is that famous that even people that don't know hero shooters, they're gonna play it, and if they like it, they like it.
Yeah.
They're just not gonna understand the whole terms of, oh, peel back to help your teammates, or oh, you gotta do this, this, and that with your character. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to like? At least with me, I had decent experience with hero shooters because I played Overwatch 1. I did.
Mm-hmm.
I played it back in its prime. Still a really good game back then. Obviously, near the end of its life cycle, it didn't do so well, especially with Overwatch 2 existing, which I'm gonna throw us out there as well. You can play Overwatch 2 and Marvel Rivals. Just don't say one is better than the other, because in my opinion, that just shows insecurity. That's just me. You can play both games and enjoy them. I don't judge your opinions, but if you say like, "Oh, this game's better than this game," there's this reason, and the reasons don't add up, just stop right there, brother. I need you to put down the talking stick. You've gone too far.
Mm-hmm.
Put it down. Put it down. But yeah, to kind of wrap it up, healers everywhere. I know, like, people are not gonna want to see this video. That probably will go up, or probably the stream in general. But
Yeah.
if my words can mean something, um, don't give up on being a healer main if you are a healer main. And if you're a person that plays DPS or tank, give healer a try, and then you can kind of see why people feel not as used to the role, or people they just don't feel appreciated enough. Especially if you go through a toxic match. If you go through a toxic match as a healer, then you understand why people what they go through every day.
Yeah.
But thank you, Green Bay. This has been very good. I've kind of wanted to be in one of these videos for a long time, so appreciate it. It's I ain't gonna lie, your videos are really fucking good. People,
Thank you.
hey, go subscribe. Like, there's a button down there. Please do that.
Yeah, you
Help
probably
this man,
should.
please.
Yeah, please help.
Help. He needs to pay
Yeah.
off the mortgage. I'm joking.
I do have loans,
Relax.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
he's in debt. Come on, guys. Help
He
him
needs
out
to
a
pay
little.
those bills.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it, Green Bay. Thank you so much for letting me be part of this.
You know.
I would love to do more. I would love to do more stuff in the future. Like, maybe if it's more Rivals or anything else. This is great. I love doing these kind of talks because I can actually talk my mind, and some
Yeah.
people can actually understand.
Yeah.
Yuppie,
That's why I
yuppie,
said.
yup.
That's why I didn't cut you off. I just let you cook. Let them cook.
Yeah, and I didn't burn the kitchen. Let's fucking go.
That all
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah.
Yay!
All
Oh
right,
Lord.
but there you go.